Calgary Sunday night game 7, and what an instant classic it was, despite the otherworldly efforts from Jake Ottinger. What a fucking performance from this guy. Flames end up winning 3-2 in OT, and now we're going to have a Battle of Alberta for the first time since 91 to go along with a Battle of Florida down in the South. Johnny Gaudreau, absolute CNI shot to beat, was it Ottinger? 67th shot of the game. Murls, let's go to you first on this one. Mix it up a little.
Yeah, that goalie for Dallas, I had to go and look him up because I'm like, who is this guy? I look and I see he went to BU. Now, Whit, did they know he was a stud back then? Was he good?
Yeah, so he was a first-round pick, and I think he's kind of proof of, like, people are so against taking goalies in the first round, right? And that's, like, he's evidence of, like, there are some guys, though, that can kind of change a franchise around. Is that maybe a little bit of an overstatement after just this one series, considering going to this year, you didn't know who the starter was? I don't know, because now if you're looking at Dallas and Robertson's great young player and Heiskanen, but now it looks like they got a goalie, dude. So first round pick, risky for a goalie sometimes. When he turns out like this kid looks right now, it's well worth it. So he was a big prospect his whole life.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. I mean, there was times in that game last night, Calgary looked like a men's league Division A team that was sandbagging playing in men's Division D trying to win a championship.
Barstool Sports at the Chiclets Cup.
What do you got on this one, Dallas, Calgary?
Yeah, see, it would have almost been so unfair to see Dallas actually win that game. They had no business winning the game, but I respect Calgary a lot because they went down 1-0, right? And then they went down 2-1 after just tying it up. So you get the tying goal. You're all fired up. The announcer's actually screaming the goal scorer, Tyler Toffoli, goal, tie game, whatever. And then boom, Nemestikov snipes another one. I think he has 3 career Game 7 goals, Nemestikov, by the way. So what a player. Biz's big trade deadline acquisition a few years back. So Calgary showed a lot of guts, and the chance of them actually losing the game got more real, and you go into overtime. Like Biz said, he's panicking, but they just stuck with it, and I just do think it would have been bullshit if Dallas had moved on. They did not have any business. They didn't deserve it. The goaltending was phenomenal, but I want Battle of Alberta. That's how I want to win this bet.
I was scared shitless. I thought karma might have come to nip him in the butt. Going back to game 6, that hit from Zadorov on Glendening, I thought it was clean. A lot of people were not happy. We're hoping that Zadorov was going to get suspended. I don't know what you guys thought of it, but going into game 7, I did not have a good feeling. As you mentioned, them to come back, and finally Tkachuk hadn't scored a goal all season long. He's got Walton Brady in the crowd getting buckled. I don't know if you saw they were crippled, and they had Brady throwing out T-shirts to all the fans before the game and stuff like that. So they're going to have to make a big trade and acquire him for the offseason just to make sure they can keep Matthew around. But the better team won. They kept pressing. I will say, as that game went into overtime, they got that power play opportunity and they didn't make anything of it. Seguin comes out of the box. Seguin had an opportunity to end that game. He got that backdoor tap in. His blade just opens up. He just missed it wide. I tell you what, when Calgary came out in that overtime, they looked like dog shit. They looked hesitant. They were on the ropes. They couldn't make a 10-foot pass, but they just found a way to fucking will themselves the victory. And all in all, like you said, with the better team won. If Dallas would have moved on, I probably would have fucking quit TNT. I probably would have quit the podcast. I would have stopped watching hockey. That's how pathetic Dallas looked. They were actually the fucking AHL team putting lipstick on a pig with Jake Ottinger, which I think I tweeted it out. Best playoff goaltending performance that I've ever seen for one game. Just the one game in game 7. He finished the second as far as saves all time in a playoff performance, RA?
Yeah, he was second to J.S. Jaguar in 2003, I think.
Second goalie to make 60 or more saves in a game 7 since they started tracking shots in 1955. I mean, stopped 64 or 67.
Started tracking shots. That's how long we have to go back.
And if you're looking at the other side of things, a one-line team in Dallas just really couldn't get any other offense going. I mean, you saw a little bit come from the back end in game 6 as Heiskanen ended up shooting through the screen, but Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, they're making a lot of money, and they're just I mean, I think Seguin was fourth line center most of the series. Jamie Benn's just looking a little bit slow. So I don't know where Dallas goes from here. They do have a lot of good players on good contracts, but when you got two guys making that much money who can't really contribute to at least a point per game, it's not looking good moving forward for them. I don't know if buyouts are coming. I don't know if that's even a possibility with what the cap implications are, but definitely tough sledding with those.
And Dallas did get a big kick in the dick with 37 goal man in the regular season, Hintz being out for game 7 about 10 minutes before the game, because the Pavelski, Robertson, Hintz line, that's a top end line. That team, if Hintz is in the lineup, maybe they do get that winning goal. But that was a tough beat to miss one of your top players for a game 7.
Also, we got to give props to Jacob Markstrom too. He might be getting overshadowed a little bit by Ottinger with his performance. He was pretty much matched him down the other end. Excellent performance. And it's crazy too, Biz. The start of the season with Hopi, Hudobin, and Bishop. I think Ottinger was 4th in the depth chart, and he's come along and basically stolen his job. And as far as the Zadorov hit. Yeah, I thought he was getting at least a fine. I wouldn't have been surprised if he gets suspended at all. I know he was taller, and they talked about the angle, but when I watched that hit, I thought, head was principal point of contact. He might not be in for game 7, but they decided no, he was fine, and not even a fine. They said it was quote unquote unavoidable, so that's why there was no supplemental discipline. Also, congrats to Daryl Sutter. His game 7 was the 11th most by a coach in NHL history. He's now 8-3 in such games. So.
And you want to talk about how close the series was? 15 goals to 14 goals total. Ottinger only ended up letting in 13 goals the entire series. So his numbers below a 2 goals against average, well above a .900 save percentage. And nice to see that Dallas has found their goalie of the future.